What's up, y'all? So some of you all like my commentary. Well, all of you all watch my like my commentary. I guess that's why you all continue to come here night after night and listen to me rant and rave and ramble and expostulate. But some of you all have sent me stuff over the course of months that I haven't gotten to. So figured that I guess starting tonight I could start to go through some of that stuff. So still smoking that Kissinger pack. Here's a cool Portuguese socialist song called Os Fantoches de Kissinger. Kissinger's Puppets. Is that a didgeridoo?
Em toda a parte bacaia, a muralha imperialista, na ponta de uma espingarda, os povos da Indochina varrem da terra sangrenta os fantoches de Kissinger. Varrem da terra sangrenta os fantoches de Kissinger.
Is this like proto Afro beats?
Mas aqui também semeias no pátio da tua
I am a man. I'm not a myth. Myths don't sit here and talk to people, and legend is debatable. I'm certainly infamous, though.
fábrica, no largo da tua aldeia, come a prostituição. São filhas da mesma besta que Kissinger tem na mão. São filhas da mesma besta que Kissinger tem na mão. Valor à mulher primeira
Wait and see.
na luta que nos espera. Só não há vida possível na liberdade comprada. Na liberdade vendida, a morte é mais desejada. Na liberdade vendida, a morte é mais desejada. Dam, 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 dam. É nato não chega a netos abaixo do avião. Na ponta de uma espingarda o povo da Palestina mandou a Golda Meir uma mensagem divina. Mandou a Golda Meir uma mensagem divina. Da CIA não tenhas pena, tem carne viva nas garras. É pomba de Kissinger toda a América Latina. Se lembra das suas farras, a mesma tropa domina. Se lembra das suas farras, a mesma tropa domina.
What are my thoughts on the Black Panthers being pro DPRK during their time and tying it to Maoist activities? That was actually the work of Eldridge Cleaver. He was sort of the international liaison of the Black Panther Party, and he traveled a lot. He was all over the place. Went to Paris. He went to London. He went to Algeria. He basically ended up as an exile, and he lived for a while in the DPRK. And he became aware of a key part of the North Korean guiding ideology, Juche, and it basically means self-reliance. And yeah, for a period in the early '70s, late '60s, the Black Panther Party was all about Juche, because the Black Panther Party wanted black people to be self-reliant. Funny thing is that Eldridge Cleaver eventually used his time in the DPRK to denounce communism, saying that, oh, I lived there and it was a totalitarian shithole, and if that's the dictatorship of the proletarian, I don't want any part of the proletarian. The opportunists were the ones about Juche. I mean, I would call Eldridge Cleaver definitely an opportunist, but um, like the ideology of the Black Panther Party was extremely eclectic, meaning it was all over the place. Like they drew from a variety of sources. Like they borrowed a little bit from Mao, they borrowed a little bit from, well, actually they borrowed a lot from Fanon. Like if there was one theoretician that I would say led directly to the creation of the Black Panther Party and several other revolutionary formations, I would definitely say Franz Fanon. They brought a little bit from Che. They brought a little bit from Castro. Basically, anybody that was a revolutionary during this time period, the Black Panther Party worked to learn from. And it's funny because the DPRK and the People's Republic of China didn't really get along during this time period. So it's like, you know what? We ain't getting mixed up in this. But yeah, we think Kim Il Sung is dope, and we think Mao Zedong is dope. So yeah, very eclectic, but it's an interesting part of history. This is an extremely catchy song. Communists need to produce music like this more often.
A mesma tropa domina só embaixador, mas nada nos abalança a dormir sobre a calçada. Faz como um trabalhador, dorme sobre a sua enxada. Faz como um atirador, dorme sobre a espingarda.
That's pretty neat. Thank you for sending me that, and thank you for the follow. Let's check out some Palestinian tunes. So let's go through this again. People think that the resistance is nothing but Hamas. I don't know why I pronounce it like that. It's nothing but Hamas. But no, the Palestinian resistance is actually comprised of a number of factions. So this is Hamas, okay? Martyr Izzaldin al-Qassam Brigades. It's the military wing of the Hamas movement. It was founded in 1991 following Hamas's foundation. It consists of over 40,000 fighters of various units, including fighting brigades, special forces, cyber units, air defense units, naval fighting units, and intelligence. Arsenal, anti-aircraft weaponry, mortars, advanced missiles that can reach 250,000 kilometers, air and naval drones, anti-tank guided missiles, small arms, and advanced explosive devices. You have the Palestinian Islamic Jihad, and their military wing is the Saraya al-Quds. They work in both the West Bank and the Gaza Strip. They have Barak missiles, high payload, locally made missiles. They have long and short range rockets. They got mortars. They got explosive devices. They got drones, IEDs, and small arms. You have Fatah. It operates independently of Fatah's central leadership, and they are across the West Bank and Gaza. They have the Nablus Brigade, they have the Balata Brigade, they have the Burkine Groups, which is joint with PIJ, they have the Tul Karim Rapid Response, they have Beit Umar the Loyal, and they have the Samut Brigade. Got IEDs, RPGs, small arms, short range rockets, and mortars. Have I watched Vox's video on Xi Jinping? No, I have not. I'm going to do more than one of these because there's a lot of shit I got to go through. But you have the Al Nasser Salah ad-Din Brigades, Saladin Brigades. It's the military wing of the Popular Resistance Committees. They're very close to Hezbollah and Iran. And they've got RPGs, mortars, homemade rockets, and small arms. You have the Mujahideen Brigades. Extremely secretive. Very sneaky. Here's the boys. My boys. The PFLP. The Martyr Abu Ali Mustafa Brigades. Notable figures, Ahmed Sadat, Abu Jamal, and Tamar al-Kalani. They were formerly the Red Eagle groups, but they named themselves after the former General Secretary Abu Ali Mustafa. The PFLP was actually founded by a Syrian Christian named George Habash. They got small arms, they've got explosive devices, they've got mortars, and they've got short-range rockets. Here's more. The other boys and girls. You got the National Resistance Brigades, the Omar al-Qasim forces. You got these are the military wing of the Marxist Democratic Front for the Liberation of Palestine. They actually identify as Marxist-Leninist Maoist, if I recall correctly, or vaguely Mao Zedong thought. But they are very ideologically aligned towards, well, with me. So these are my boys. I've got short and medium range rockets and mortars. Got the Joint Operations Room. Doesn't Mujahideen just translate to students? No, Mujahideen translates to holy warriors. Let me see. Guerrilla fighters in Islamic countries, especially those who are fighting against non-Muslim forces. From Persian and Arabic, Mujahideen, colloquial plural of Mujahid, denoting a person who fights in jihad. I think you're referring to the Taliban, which means students. I'm not an expert on Arabic or Farsi or any of these other languages. Maybe I should become one. So the Joint Operations Room, The purpose is to establish tactical unity during fights against the Israeli occupation force. They've got anti-aircraft, they've got mortars, they've got advanced missiles, air and naval drones, anti-tank, small arms, and advanced explosive devices. Let's check out some music, yes? Or it's like more Guevara oriented, I guess you would say. Um, and it's more traditionally Marxist Leninist, whereas the DFLP, I would say, from what little I've read of their line, um, they seem to have a more Maoist understanding of the world. Let's see. So they were actually a split from the PFLP. I didn't know this. So they were founded in February of '69 with members within the Popular Front decided to leave the organization and form a separate group. Intellectual and political differences had begun to appear within the PFLP just a few weeks after its first General Congress was held in August of '68. Those differences became public when its magazine, Al Horia, started publishing articles criticizing the leadership for not adhering to the meeting's resolutions, which had declared that the front would adopt the proletarian intellectual platform. Hmm. At its founding, the DFLP's ideology was a mix of ideas taken from the Vietnamese Revolution, Che Guevara style guerrilla warfare, and Trotskyist Revolutionary Workers' Council. So I erred in saying that the PFLP was more Guevarist oriented. Apparently, the DFLP came out of that school, which were championed in the literature of the European New Left. This school of thought differentiated itself from the classical Marxism Leninism adopted by the Arab communist parties, which the DFLP took issue with for not having taken a correct internationalist position on the Palestinian question. The DFLP also criticized the Soviet Union for its position. What the fuck? Well, my fingers mashed the wrong button on the keyboard. Seeing them as reinforcing Stalin's incorrect position supporting the establishment of Israel, which was admittedly an L, it insisted that this criticism was a friendly one, not that of an enemy. It's pretty interesting. I don't know why people call them Maoists. On the international level, the DFLP considers the Palestinian National Liberation Movement to be part of the progressive, democratic, and socialist forces of liberation and struggle against the ambitions of imperialism. It regards globalization as the highest stage of imperialism, and its aim is to tighten its control on the resources of the world's peoples and countries. Pretty neat. However, the DFLP's sway in Palestinian political arena has witnessed a steady decline since the 90s. This has affected all leftist groups in Palestinian politics. This decline has resulted from several factors, among them the collapse of the Soviet Union, the changes experienced by the structure of Palestinian society after the establishment of the Palestinian Authority, the decline of traditional models of mass organizations such as worker and student unions and women's organizations, in contrast to the rise of NGOs and civil society groups, and the entrenched rift between Fatah and Hamas. It's interesting. Let's hear some tunes. Damn, look at that caravan. I love how disciplined all of the resistance factions are. Like, this is goals.
يا أبطال الشعب الرائد وديعوا يا ليلى خالد شعبي رجالك أماجد يا رمز الشعب خاص.
Discipline is what the Western left is so adverse to. Yeah, because we're not in a state of crisis. Like, these people are in a state of crisis. Like, if they don't unite, they're all dead. So, as Jill Scott Heron would say, unity is forced upon them. Like, you have all of these various factions that disagree radically on matters of ideology and religion, yet they still unite because unity is needed. If you don't have unity in a time of crisis, you're not going to live very long. So, yeah, the Western left is occupied in large part by individualists, clout chasers, grifters, all other sorts of nasty people like that. But we'll get it together because a crisis is coming here.
يا جبهة اشتد بي وهمي لملمي شملك يا أمي انت الأصل وانت الأول عنك أبدا ما بنتحول معلش بيك نجمك صاحب شعبي يمن أماجد عطل لك في الصف الأول رمز شعبك جيشك صاحب
Have I seen the video of a gay person going to Gaza during the war and giving aid and being received welcomingly? I have not.
You shouldn't be supporting Palestinians.
Let's take a look. Because I get this a lot. You're black. You're gay. You're American. If you go to Gaza, they're literally going to kill you. And I'm like, bruh, like, I know Palestinian people, like, directly from Palestine. Like, literally were born in Palestine and they came here. And I also know second and third generation Palestinian Americans. Like, those people have never said anything to me about being gay. It's what you call pinkwashing. Their goal is to portray Israel as a sort of bastion of progressiveness and tolerance in the United States, which is false because, like, gay marriage isn't even a thing in Israel. Like, no. I think the only so-called, like, liberal or libertine zone is the, like, hipster rave scene in Tel Aviv. But, like, that's not a scene I don't think I would be very comfortable in.
LGBTQ. Seriously, they'll murder you. Don't believe me? Go there. See how they treat you. Okay, then let's go. Mission: gather and label supplies, assemble a team, arrive and distribute aid to as many Palestinian families as possible while serving as openly LGBTQ. Here's how it went. But Rain, you're an outsider, so of course it was different for you. Well, that wasn't what y'all claimed. You said Palestinians would murder me. But here, in case you aren't satisfied, our team was largely made up of local LGBTQ plus people and their allies, and they...
What? LGBTQ people actually live in Gaza and they, like, live like queer people in every other part of the world and they don't manage to get murdered? Shocking.
all survived. Oh, and if that's still not good enough because they were providing aid, we found Gazan Palestinian LGBTQ people at this stop, this one, and many more. They all had grown up to adulthood while living within Gaza, Palestine. This rumor is a vicious bit of propaganda meant to dehumanize the victims of one of the deadliest months of bombardment to any territory on this planet in decades, and it's a lie. Now, do LGBTQ people in Gaza, Palestine still need liberation? Yes. Do they have their full rights? No. Is it safe for them to be super open? Most of the times, no. But their struggle isn't unique to Palestinian culture. It's a struggle shared by most LGBTQ people on the planet in different but very adjacent ways. I've experienced similar treatment in Ukraine, Poland, the USA, Colombia, Mexico, Turkey, and more. LGBTQ plus liberation is a lifetime fight, one we're not unfamiliar with, but let me be clear. Regardless of the progress of that fight, this is never an excuse to turn our backs on the suffering and liberation of others. Gaza and Palestinian LGBTQ plus people and their allies will continue to push for their rights over time, but right now the priority is to push to have a life at all, a home at all, a land at all. Our focus should be on that call for humanitarian aid to every beating heart.
Oh, it's beautiful. Here's another song from my neck of the woods this time. What is this old-timey Western shit?
When I was just a little thing, I used to love parades with banners, bands, red balloons, and maybe lemonade. When I came home one May, my neighbor's father said, "Them marching is all commies, tell me, kid, are you a red?" Well, I didn't
Well, it's pretty catchy.
know just what he meant. My hair back then was brown. Our house was plain red brick like most others in the town. So I went and asked my mama why our neighbor called me red. My mommy took me on her knee and this is what she said. Well, you ain't done nothing if you ain't been called a red. If you've marched or agitated, then you're bound to hear it said. So you might as well ignore it or love the word instead, 'cause you ain't been doing nothing if you ain't been called a red. When I was growing up, had my troubles, I suppose, when someone took exception to my face or to my clothes, or tried to cheat me on a job or hit me on the head. When I organized to fight back, why the stinkers called me red.
This is the corniest shit I've ever heard. But it's catchy.
But you ain't done nothing if you ain't been called a red. If you've marched or agitated, you're bound to hear it said. So you might as well ignore it or love the word instead, 'cause you ain't been doing nothing if you ain't been called a red. When I was living on my own, one apartment that I had a lousy, rotten landlord, let me tell you, he was bad. But when he tried to throw me out, I rubbed my hands and said, "You haven't seen a struggle if
Show
you
your daughter
haven't
how much-
called a red, and you ain't done nothing if you ain't been called a red. If you've marched
I've heard that one. It's very good.
or agitated, you're bound to hear it said. So you might as well ignore it or love the word instead, 'cause you ain't been doing nothing if you ain't been called a red."
Okay, I can't listen anymore. If I listen to it one more second of this song, I'm going to start losing melanin. What's next? Israelis, do you see non-Jews as equal to you?
Thanks everybody who watches the Ask Project. It's really, really appreciated. I've noticed lately that the amount of views are low, contributions have gone down. It's the only way I'm able to do this project is from
This guy looks like a white, out-of-shape version of The Rock.
your contributions and sharing the videos. Please contribute. Go into the description below to see how. Guys, I appreciate so much. that
Bro,
you guys-
shut the fuck up. Damn. I hate when fucking videos start with some weirdo just raving into a camera. Get to the fucking point. Damn.
אתה רואה גויים כשווים, כבני אדם.
כן, ודאי.
אוקיי, כל הזכויות שיש לך, כאילו, מגיע להם.
אני רואה את עצמי כמיוחד יותר, אבל ודאי שווה זכויות.
אוקיי, מה זה אומר מיוחד יותר? באיזה מובן? מישהו שלא מבין.
במובן הדתי.
אוקיי,
במובן
שזה
הדתי
נותן
אני
לך
חושב
מה?
שיש לי ייעוד גדול יותר. הייעוד שלי הוא חשוב יותר.
Okay. Do you see Jews and non-Jews as the same?
Are you Jewish?
Yeah.
Are they Jewish?
No.
So what's the purpose of the question?
People outside want to know, from a Haredi point of view, do you see Jews and non-Jews as the same?
I'll answer you politically. In the eyes of
I don't want
Hashem,
political. Yeah, okay,
in the
fine,
eyes
go.
of Hashem, we all are created. In the eyes of
Why does this guy have an American accent? Like every other Israeli seems to have an American accent. Like this guy could be from fucking Brooklyn or LA or somewhere else.
God, we are all created as, but as you know, as the Chumash, the Bible says, the Jews are the chosen nation. So you can't exactly consider that when there's testimony from Hashem that we are different. So it's not my opinion, it's Hashem's opinion. I just happen to follow Hashem.
האם גויים, אנשים לא יהודים, הם פחות או inferior, כאילו, to Jews, ליהודים?
הם נחותים
נחותים, כן.
בשום אופן לא. אין שום קשר. אין שום קשר יהודי וגוי לגבי רמת משכל או רמת מוסריות, זה רק עניין של מסורות. ליהודים יש מסורת מסוימת, לגויים יש מסורת אחרת. הם יכולים להיות כאן וכאן, להתחלף, שום קשר.
האם אתה רואה גויים כשווים, כאילו בזכויות, כבני אדם?
What the fuck? This dude is darker than me. Probably Ethiopian.
אני רואה אותם כן כיצירה של הקדוש ברוך הוא, זה לא משנה. מבחינת אדם הם אדם. שיתנהגו כמו בן אדם, אז הם שווים כאדם.
למה אתה...
He's basically characterizing humanity as behavior. That's kind of fucked up.
חושב שהם לא מתנהגים כמו...
לא אמרתי שהם לא, אמרתי אם הם לא מתנהגים.
לא, אבל למה זה אז עלה לך לראש?
כי גם אני, לא רק גויים, גם יהודי שלא מתנהג כיהודי, הוא לא נחשב, התורה אומרת להרוג אותו גם, אם צריך.
להרוג אותו?
What the fuck?
כן, בטח, יש הלכות, מה, לפי התורה אני אומר, לא... ולכן אני אומר, מי שמתנהג כבן אדם, ויש לו את הזכות...
How are you defining acting like a human being, though? This is nuts.
להיות בן אדם, אז יש לו זכויות של אדם. מי שמתנהג חס ושלום לא כאדם, אין לו דינים של אדם.
Whoa.
האם אתה רואה אנשים יהודים ולא יהודים כאותו דבר כאותו דבר?
אני יודע שיש כל מיני תפיסות.
What do you mean different sorts of views? It's a simple question, yes or no. Do non-Jews have the same rights as Jews in Israel?
שיש איזשהו הבדל בין יהודים ללא יהודים. אני, מבחינת ההשקפה שלי, אני לא מבין בזה כלום.
What the fuck do you mean you don't understand any of it? Do people who are not Jewish have human fucking rights?
זה משהו שאני לא חושב שאף אחד מבין בזה, באמת, והרבה אנשים לוקחים את זה לכל מיני כיוונים לא נכונים.
אוקיי.
אני יודע שאלוקים רוצה שאנחנו כולנו נהיה באהבה אחד עם השני ובכבוד אחד לשני.
אם אתה בחו"ל ואתה פוגש מישהו שהוא לא יהודי, אתה רואה אותו כאילו שווה?
כן. גם אני עובד עם אנשים שהם לא יהודים בעבודה שלי. אני איך שאני חווה את זה, אני משתדל כלפי כל בן אדם להיות באהבה ובכבוד כלפיו.
אוקיי. אתה דתי, אני אשאל אותך. האם אתה רואה יהודים וגויים כשווים, כאילו...
כשווים?
כן. בזכויות, כאילו מגיע להם, דברים כאלה.
מגיע? כן.
He kind of hesitated a little bit there.
יהודים יש דרך חיים שבורא עולם נתן לנו. הגויים אין את זה, הם פספסו.
לא, אבל נגיד זכות הצבעה, או לגור איפה שרוצים, כאילו... מישהו שהוא...
לא, זה מדינה יהודית.
Oh, wow. Defensive segregation and apartheid. That's nice. And this guy, like, this isn't an old man, okay? Like, this is a young dude. So it just shows how, like, ingrained, like, even if somebody considers themselves liberal or progressive in Israel, like, this is what they think. Like, yeah, everybody should be treated the same, except in Israel, because this is a state set up specifically for Jewish people. And no, people who are not Jewish should be excluded from Jewish neighborhoods. Like, how is this not segregation and apartheid? Like, there is no legal defense for anything like this. Like, if black people set up something like this in the United States, like, say we took over Atlanta. We had our own city state of Atlanta, and we tried to keep white people out. People would not like that.
אני לא חושב שלערבים... מדינה יהודית, למה הם מצביעים? מדינה שלנו.
אבל הם מצביעים. יש להם זכות להצביע.
So he's not referring to Palestinians, okay? Like people in Gaza and the West Bank, they don't have any Israeli citizenship. He's referring to Arabs who actually live in Israel and are considered Israeli citizens. He's saying that these people should be disenfranchised and treated as second-class citizens. Keep in mind, like, these are his countrymen. They serve in the IDF. They basically are Israeli. But he's saying that he should disenfranchise. He would vote to disenfranchise his countrymen, just because they're Arab.
כי הם נצחים.
אני חושב שזה מדינה שלנו, הם לא... זה שיש עכשיו 13 מנדטים לערבים, למשל. אתה רוצה שיהיה שר ביטחון ערבים, או יכולים למסור שטחים לערבים? לא, זה לא מתאים. מדינה יהודית, זה מדינה שלנו.
האם אתה מבדיל בין יהודים ולא יהודים? כאילו בקטע, אתה חושב שהם שווים?
האם אני חושב שהם שווים או מה דעתי?
דעתך, האם הם שווים?
דעתי שעדיין הם לא שווים.
שמה?
שעדיין אין שוויון.
לא, זה בסדר. האם אתה רואה, נגיד שיש לך שכן שהוא יהודי, ושכן בצד השני שהוא לא יהודי. אתה חוץ אתה אוהב אחד ולא אוהב, זה לא משנה.
אוקיי.
אתה רואה אותם כאותו דבר?
כן.
שווים, כאילו...
כן.
האם אתם רואים יהודים ולא יהודים, גויים, כשווים?
באשר הוא. אין לי שום הבדל.
אין שום הבדל, מבחינתך.
עד שהוא לא עושה לי רע, אני לא...
למה שהוא יעשה לך רע?
דוגמה, ערבים, אתמול היה פיגוע.
לא, אבל נגיד, מישהו פה, שוודיה, אין לו משהו נגד...
אני אתן כסף לגוי שנזקק או משהו, אוסף כסף, אין שום בעיה, אני מאוד אוהב.
יש לך דעה אחרת?
קצת שונה, אני כן חושב שיהודי הוא קצת יותר...
Why can't I just look at this dude and see just he has that alt-right look. I can just look at this guy and tell he's about to say some stupid off-the-wall shit.
כאילו ודאי שיהיה לי עדיפות גדולה הרבה יותר לעזור ל...
See, what did I tell you? Of course, there's no problem with, like, supporting your own, but, like, just like the young guy a few people back said, like, these are the types of people who want to disenfranchise their co-citizens just because they're Arabs.
יהודי מאשר לגוי.
למה?
למה? כי יהודי הוא אח שלי.
אוקיי. נגיד מצב שיש שני אנשים ברחוב שצריכים כסף, אתה נותן לשניהם או רק ליהודי?
ניתן לשניהם. אבל ליהודי בחיבה יותר.
אתה סתם אומר את זה?
לא, אני אתן לשניהם בשביל... דבר ראשון כי אני בן אדם. דבר שני כי לא ליצור שנאה.
Okay. Do you see Jews and non-Jews as the same?
This guy's a settler. Let's see what he has to say.
כאילו שווה ערך.
What did I tell you?
No.
Okay, explain.
I see Jews as the chosen nation.
Okay.
They were chosen by Hashem.
Does that make Jews better?
Makes Jews different.
Okay.
Like
So-
not all of our body parts are the same.
What the fuck?
They're all the same parts of the body, but
Oh, I thought he was about to say that non-Jews have tails or something.
there's the mind, there's the heart, there's the foot. They're not all the same. They're all part of the same body.
Do they deserve the same rights? Let's put it that way. Jews,
what are the
non-Jews,
rights?
anyone who lives here, let's say. Does everyone deserve the same?
This guy's dumb as a sack of shit. He's over here stealing these people's land and he doesn't even know why. Like, he just mouths shit that he was taught from birth. But, like, it's obvious that this guy is fucking dumb. Look at, like, he can't even make a straight answer. These are the types of people that stage those terrorist attacks against Palestinians in the settlements, by the way. Like, a dumb, mindless goon. That's what this guy is.
Treated the same. Let's put it that way.
I think not. I think that this is the nation of the Jews, that the Jews should have more rights.
And Pinky in the brain, this guy is Pinky. Take the land, no.
Rights than non-Jews.
Like, give me an example of a right that a Jew should have that a non-Jew shouldn't.
Right now, there's the right for Jews to come to Israel and to get your citizenship, which isn't for all non-Jews. This is the land for the Jews.
The funny thing is, like, because they can't use Gazan labor anymore or West Bank labor, because they're currently in the process of trying to wipe them off the face of the earth. They say that this is a land that should be strictly for Jews, but they're actually in the process of trying to get Mozambican and Indian labor to replace all of the Palestinian workers that they're losing. So this is what settlers do. Like, this is what they did in Rhodesia. This is what they did in South Africa. This is what they did in Angola. They come, they say this is their promised land and they have the right to live here. This land belongs exclusively to them. Like, even from the liberal Israelis, like, they're still saying that I still favor the Jew over the non-Jew. And when it comes down to the nitty gritty, like raw economics, they still rely on non-settler labor to make everything tick. That's a hell of a contradiction.
Jews can come and live here. I think that Jews.
Like who do you think is driving that forklift? Who do you think is doing all of this shit in the background? Like, when the resistance came and they took hostages, like, why were there so many Thai and Nepalese and Indian people in the on the kibbutzes? Like, if this was strictly the land for the Jews, there would be a settler Jewish proletariat, right? But like, you got a bunch of Thai and Indian and Nepalese dudes doing all your fucking grunt labor.
Have more rights than non-Jews.
Can you give another example? Maybe even a law that doesn't exist, or a right that should exist.
I think that the Jews should get land here, like the Bible says that each Jew, when Yeshua came with the Jews to Israel, each one got his own plot of land. So I think that each Jew should get his own plot of land, and non-Jews shouldn't.
What about the ones who are already here?
There's a halachic issue of having non-Jews in Israel.
You literally depend on non-Jews for your labor. You have non-Jews building the settlement that you live in. Ooh, I hope this guy got on the 7th.
There's what's called the Gir Toshav, someone if he keeps the 7 laws of Bnei Noach,
The Noahide laws.
then he could live in Israel.
This is interesting. How could the October 7th attack happen? That's the problem. I need to stop using Firefox. I don't have this problem when I use Chrome. Where are you? Fucking buffering issues. But anyways, going back to that series of interviews that we just had, it's amazing how like reactionary, like even liberal Israelis are on various questions, like that are essential to there we go, to like to understanding this whole situation. Log in. Anyways, how is everybody doing tonight?
The scale.
There we go. It appears to be a warthog eating a slice of pizza. Very interesting. That's good to hear. You could always be doing worse. In these times of want and suffering, I am a constant in your life.
The scale of destruction I saw when I visited Ukraine was shocking.
Oh, shut up.
On a level I could never have imagined.
That's the thing that gets me. Like, Ukraine has immense support from the richest countries on the face of the earth. And you have these fucking people here fucking begging. So, he's asking Israelis, how could the October 7th attack happen? This is a very interesting guy. I need to watch more of his stuff.
7 לאוקטובר. איך זה יכול להיות שדבר כזה קרה? יש לנו צבא חזקה וביטחון, ואיך זה יכול להיות?
נראה לי שנרדמנו במשמרת. כן, היה פשלה.
אוקיי.
At your post, so you're basically admitting that you're a military garrison.
זהו, אין לי יותר מדי מה להוסיף, קרה פדיחה.
יכול להיות שאנשים ידעו? יש
לדעתי כן.
שמועה? שידעו שזה יקרה
ונתנו... לא יודעת אם ידעו בוודאות, לא
נראה לי. שנתנו לזה לקרות כי הם רצו שאנשים ירגו. לא יכול להיות?
They've got conspiracy theories like Pearl Harbor and 9/11 conspiracy theories going on over there a month after this situation started.
למה?
מה פתאום, דבר כזה? לא נראה לי.
אנשים בחו"ל מאמינים בדברים האלה.
לא נראה לי שיש דבר כזה.
7 לאוקטובר. יש לנו הצבא הכי חזקה, כמעט, בעולם. איך זה קרה? איך זה יכול לקרות, דבר כזה? שהם לא ידעו.
קשר מודיעיני.
איך זה יכול להיות? הם אומרים שישראלים יודעים הכל. איך זה יכול להיות?
אני לא מאמין שישראלים יודעים את הכל, ואני לא מאמין שיש לנו את הצבא הכי חזק. אני מאמין שאנחנו צריכים להתחבר למציאות ולהיות, אתה יודע, לא עם האף בשמיים ולהגיד יהיה בסדר, אנחנו הכי טובים. תמיד יש יכול להשתפר.
אוקיי.
Sorry about that.
אוקיי. יש גם תיאוריה שאנשים בצבא ידעו.
לא עם האף בשמיים ולהגיד יהיה... אני לא מאמין שישראלים...
איך זה יכול להיות? הם אומרים שישראלים יודעים הכל. איך זה יכול להיות?
אני לא מאמין שישראלים יודעים את הכל, ואני לא מאמין שיש לנו את הצבא הכי חזק. אני מאמין שאנחנו צריכים להתחבר למציאות ולהיות, אתה יודע, לא עם האף בשמיים ולהגיד יהיה בסדר, אנחנו הכי טובים. תמיד יש יכול להשתפר.
אוקיי. יש גם תיאוריה שאנשים בצבא ידעו שזה יקרה. יכול להיות?
ספקולציות אני לא יודע
7 לאוקטובר. איך זה יכול להיות שדבר כזה קרה? יש לנו הצבא הכי חזקה.
נכון.
אז איך זה יכול להיות?
The strongest army where?
אני חושבת שהעננות יתר.
אוקיי.
זה בסדר?
כן, כי בחול, אומרים שזה יכול להיות שזה מישהו בפנים, ביבי, משהו.
לא, אני לא חושבת שזה מישהו בפנים.
לא? שהם ידעו.
הם ידעו, אבל הם לא היו בטוחים שזה יקרה עכשיו, דווקא ביום שבת הזה יקרה. אני חושבת שזה פשוט ביש מזל.
Your whole fucking colony is bad luck.
קרה. התעסקו בדברים אחרים, לא במקום הזה.
אבל לא יכול להיות האם יכול להיות? כן, בגידה.
לא. אני לא חושבת שמישהו יכול לבגוד במצב כזה. מה? אלה שנהרגו הם שמאלנים. אז מי בגד? הימני סבגד או השמאלני בגד? אני חושבת שהעננות יתר.
I saw a theory on Twitter going around saying that that the resistance actually captured, like I guess you could say, leftist Israelis, if there even is such a thing as a leftist Israeli, from the kibbutzes, these sort of like collective farms worked by Palestinian and foreign labor, because the resistance knew that these people would be easy to win over once they saw how hospitable the Palestinian people in Gaza are and the conditions under which they were forced to live. And if this is true, it worked. Like, they need a fucking award for that because it worked. Like, you've got people who are hostages who have been released who are refusing to meet with Bibi, their president, who hate Bibi, and who are like Hamas is winning. The resistance is winning the propaganda war. Israel is losing it big time. Like, they literally have to pay actors Okay, they have to pay actors to make the resistance look bad. The resistance doesn't have to pay or hire actors or make all this shiny, well packaged propaganda. They just have to show what's actually happening.
אנחנו עם שאנן, לפעמים אנחנו...
7 לאוקטובר. איך זה יכול לקרות דבר כזה? יש את הצבא הכי חזקה, ביטחון, איך זה יכול להיות? שואלים מחול, הם לא מבינים.
אני חושבת שנרדמנו בשמירה. אני חושבת ש...
This is the second time that somebody has used the words fell asleep at our post. That's stuff, like, that's how mercenaries, that's how soldiers talk. So they envision themselves as a military garrison, as a nation of soldiers. By that standard, I guess everybody in Israel is a valid military target.
היינו יהירים מדי. חשבנו שזה לא יקרה. העלמנו עין. האמת שכנראה היה לנו קשה להם כן להתמודד, הצבא והממשלה שלנו. שהיה לה קשה להתמודד, אז היא נתנה להם עוד ועוד, לא חושבת שזה יקרה, בקיצור, נרדמנו בשמירה.
אוקיי. יש אנשים בחו"ל, לא שלי, תיאוריה, שזה קרה מבפנים. שאנשים בממשלה והצבא ידעו שזה יקרה, ונתנו לזה לקרות. זה יכול להיות.
קודם כל, כן ידעו שזה יקרה, שמעו, אבל לא האמינו שזה יכול לקרות. התריעו ודיברו על זה מן הסתם, אבל לא באמת האמינו שזה יכול לקרות, כי לפעמים מדברים וזה לא קורה.
לא, כאילו בקטע רע, כאילו...
לא בקטע רע, לא בקטע רע, אני חושבת שפשוט הם לא... הם היו יודעים באמת שזה...
This is boring, these people are fucking clueless. Let's see if I can use Firefox without it going to piss. Yeah, it seems to want to work now. Let's switch back over here. I don't know why I'm so loyal to Firefox. Somebody tried to introduce me to another thing that was really, really hard to use. I'm like, bruh. I know how to make videos. I know how to talk into a microphone. That's it. George Santos was literally put out of Congress today. Why? For doing a bunch of stupid things that he shouldn't have done. This guy is basically a grifter, a con artist that weaseled his way into Congress. Like, Mitt Romney literally walked up to him during Biden's State of the Union this year and it's like, you shouldn't be here. Because, like, okay, to be a politician in the United States requires being a con artist of some type or another, okay? Because that's what politicians in bourgeois democracies and capitalist countries do. They are professional liars. But this guy is too big of a professional liar for the professional liars. That house back there, that Capitol building, like, it's full of professional liars. But this guy was too egregious and outrageous even for the house of professional liars. Who's this guy standing next to him? His rent boy?
Just like the somewhat 140 people sitting in prison right now because of January 6th. But Jamal Bowman gets a pass. That's why today at noon, I'm going to...
All Jamal Bowen did was pull a fucking fire alarm.
...be introducing a privilege motion for expulsion of convicted and guilty pleaded Congressman Jamal Bowman. And I stand there, I think that that's consistency. Let's hold our own accountable, but let's make sure that we do it with the precedent of the House. Now, if the House wants to start different precedent and expel me...
It's obvious that this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
That is going to be the undoing of a lot of members of this body because...
Bruh, that's going to be your undoing. Don't you know that these people routinely have people killed? You're playing Game of Thrones and you don't even know the rules, bro. When you play the Game of Thrones, you win and you die. And... judging by you literally getting expelled and frog marched out of the Capitol, I'm exaggerating, but judging by what happened to you today, you don't know how to play. You don't know how to play the game. Like, you have people in that building behind you that have been in Congress for 30 years. Okay, like, if I were you, I would just take the money that you swindled out of very, very stupid people and just go live somewhere in obscurity. Go to Brazil.
This will haunt them in the future, where
like, these people, like, they will literally. You go to a cafe or a bar somewhere or a restaurant to eat, and you'll never walk out. You'll just drop dead from a fucking heart attack. They're going to use the heart attack gun on you, bro. You better keep your mouth shut. Like, you're literally announcing, you're literally trying to blackmail these people on national fucking television.
Allegations are sufficient to have members removed from office when duly elected by their people in their respective states and districts. So, bearing that in mind, I'm going to make this a very brief and a comment on the...
Funny thing is, this guy is actually my type. Like, I have a thing for Latino and black dudes. Like, he's literally my type. He's got a like nerdy type of look to him, but like his just his personality is not is it's not working at all. He's too fucking catty. He's a liar. He's a bullshitter, and he's extremely arrogant. I don't get along with people like that.
On the process here that's taken place with the ethics committee. By admission of the chairman himself, he said that the process was not full throttle and not complete because it would require many more months in order for the committee to offer any kind of punishment. So instead, they decided to stop short of completing the process, going ahead and
Yeah, this dude literally ripped off a veteran who was looking for money for his looking for money to get a surgery for his dog or something like that. And he literally took the dude's money and ghosted him.
putting out a slanderous report, unprecedented. Nobody here's ever seen ethics reports
Santos, aka Mr. B. Gay Dutron.
of any other members who's been under investigation. But yet again, changing precedent for me, it seems that it's all fair game. So there we go. They go ahead and release this report littered in hyperbole, littered in opinion that would have
He's using big words. I don't even think he knows what hyperbole means.
no decent cop would bring this to a prosecutor or a DA and say, here's our
But they brought all your shit to the prosecutor and the DA. You going to jail, bro.
report. Go ahead and charge him. Right? So this is what the ethics committee put out. God bless them and what they think they're doing and what their work is. You know, I believe they do good work when it's relevant, but this ain't it. So with that, I'm going to make this a very brief opportunity for a couple of questions.
I gotta give him credit, though. He yassified corruption.
In an orderly fashion, without screaming at me, we'll go by hands.
Mr. Santos.
Go ahead.
He's not cooperating because he did all the shit they accused him of doing.
I cooperated. I provided them every single document for
No, you didn't. Why are you lying?
the most part that they went off.
Yeah, see, that's why you got put out of Congress. You're a shitty liar. You're a shitty liar. You're too bold. You're too brazen. Like, the art of a lie is to throw in a mixture of truth. You don't have any truth at all. Like, you're up here saying shit that can be proven beyond a reasonable doubt to be false. That's a bad, shitty liar. That's why you got kicked out of Congress, bro.
Came from my counsel.
Mr. Santos. Mr. Santos.
Go ahead.
I mean, who believes George Santos is a flamboyant queer? Flamboyant queers aren't good liars. No comment.
Because if I leave, they win. If I leave, the
When was this press conference? This was 1 day ago.
bullies take place. This is bullying. The chair of the committee putting out a motion to expel, just introducing it and not calling its privilege, was designed to force me to resign. But he didn't even have the fortitude to go ahead and call the privilege. He had someone else do it, someone who's actually just recently done one on me, which is Congressman D'Esposito. So the reality of it is it's all theater. It's theater for the cameras, it's theater for the microphones, it's theater for the American people at the expense of the American
It's theater. He's mad. His fucking gay accent is coming out. It's theater.
people because no real work's getting done.
Congressman Santos.
Go ahead. I will be filing a slew of complaints in the coming hours of today and tomorrow to make sure that we keep the playing field even, because at this point I have been nothing but generous and kind with my time. I have not raised my voice or a single finger against a single other member of this body. But now I guess it's fair game to continue to do that.
Congressman Santos. Congressman Santos.
Go ahead. I told you the other day, I am not unpacking the report. It is counterproductive for me to do so at this time. There will be a time that I will unpack it entirely and go line by line. I will go line by line when the time is proper. Go ahead.
So this guy is going to be filing a bunch of ethics reports. He says Monday I will be filing an official complaint with the Office of Congressional Ethics against Nicole Maliotakis regarding her questionable stock trading since joining the Ways and Means Committee this Congress. Before joining the committee, the Congresswoman didn't have an active trading habit or a high volume state. The question is, what set of information is she trading with? Then, on Monday, I will be filing an ethics complaint against Representative Mike Lawler for questionable campaign finance violations. Congressman Lawler owns a portion of Checkmate Strategies, and he uses the same firm that he is the beneficiary of to pay for services related to his campaign. The concerning questions are, is Mr. Lawler engaging in laundering money from his campaign to his firm, then into his own pocket? On Monday, the third ethics report I will be submitting to the Office of Congressional Ethics is on Representative Nick LaLotta. It has been raised in the local media that Congressman LaLotta obtained his JD attending Hofstra in day school while he was supposed to be working at the Board of Elections at the same time. The questionable actions are, did Representative LaLotta no-show to his taxpayer-funded job while going to school? And if so, he could potentially have stolen public funds from the taxpayers of New York. Monday's fourth ethics report will be filed on Congressman Menendez, not to be confused with the senator. While Congressman Menendez has not been invoked by the diligent investigation of the Department of Justice into his father, there remains a question of what did he know and when did he know it. The complaint is to seek clarification from the freshman congressman on his involvement with his father's overseas dealings over the years and any potential compensation he received. I think it's a fair point to make sure we weed out the doubts surrounding Representative Menendez and his business associations with his father. So this guy is basically the Ghazi Kodzo of Congress. He's coming after everybody. God bless him.
He resigned. He resigned. That's the reality. Is he's resigned. He resigned. Right.
Congressman Santos.
Go ahead.
Congressman Santos, you mentioned many members of Congress have rap sheets. Are you going to be naming them? Why not put their names out in the forefront?
Well, why do I have to do your job for you? I mean, you guys like digging up stuff on me. Why don't you go dig up on other members? There's so many. It's out in the open. Go ahead.
Wait, he just cut the fucking reporter off. He just basically cursed the reporter out, told him to go fuck himself, and went on to the next question.
I mean, it's the third time, and each time for different reasons, and they just keep going. I don't know. Ask them. I don't care. Go ahead. I've said this many times. I'm fighting to defend myself and to dispel each and every accusation as soon as I have the opportunity. Go ahead. You see, that's not true. I have 2 district offices in New York, and they're constantly busy with folks coming in for various issues, obviously pertaining from the simple as a
And are you in your district offices, or are you fucking showboating in front of Congress?
Need an expedited passport to more complex immigration issues. There is one thing that sometimes deters people from walking in is when we have crowds of media outside the office. And I'm not blaming the media. I'm just...
Bro, stop acting like you don't love the attention. Like, that's what you are. You're an attention whore.
That does interfere with constituent services. People don't want to be on camera. They don't want that exposure of them. So, but the service is there. I nominated 29 applicants to the service academies, and I've already had 4 gotten accepted. And I did that earlier than most people.
Imagine getting into fucking West Point because of George Santos
in this building. So I'm pretty proud of the fact that I have a staff that's veteran staff in leadership in my DC office and in my district office, and the operation runs pretty smooth. I mean, look, we haven't had real complaints other than from organized anti-George Santos groups Obviously, I didn't win my seat unanimously with every single vote in the district. I had people who opposed me, but we do the best, and we're open to everybody. And look, the thing I like to do the most is serve the people and talk to them.
Do you expect the expulsion vote?
Holy shit, he's a Maoist.
People and talk to them.
Do you expect the expulsion?
Everybody, and look, the thing I like to do the most is serve the people and talk to them.
The thing I like to do the most is serve the people. He's a Maoist. I like him now. We must restore the seat of Comrade Santos.
Do you expect the expulsion vote to pass? In regards to the allegations that you bring up in the ethics report, though, these are items that you could easily say did not happen, that you have not participated in any of these things. So why are you waiting until after this vote comes down to actually address these major issues?
I didn't say I was waiting for the vote to come down.
Well, it's coming down
I understand.
This dude is so fucking flamey and catty. I love him.
Doing this in a different schedule. It's not the schedule of the House or the expulsion. You already got a question. Go ahead, sir.
Do you expect the expulsion vote to pass? And if so, why do you think this time compared to the other?
I don't know. Look, from what I understand, the way I'm looking at this is Congressman Lolota said he has 150 votes. So, I mean, if he has 150 votes, as he said already on the record, he has the votes. This is just plain and simple.
Why do you think the votes have changed?
Thank you. So there's quite a few members that say they won't vote for this. Do you have a message to them? I know you.
Oh, look, I've spoken to a lot of members. I don't ask people to come in my defense. I do not ask people to advocate for me. I've kept that. I did not whip this. I didn't whip it the first 2 times, and I stay steadfast on that because I think this is my battle, and I don't want to drag people into the
You can't engage in politics without allies, bro.
fray of this entire nonsensical operation right now. So I thank them for their courage, because it takes courage these days to stand up for people, especially in my position. So I thank them, and these are people that I will never forget. Go ahead.
You said this has been a year from hell for you. Obviously, 3 expulsion attempts, multiple indictments. Knowing where we are today, would you have done it all over again?
I would have done a lot of things different. I would have associated with a lot of different people. I would have definitely stayed away from a lot of people. And for those of you who don't know, this is Grace Ashford from the New York Times. You all know me because of her. So interesting to see you here. But I will say this.
This dude is he's just so fucking full of shade. I love him. Not politically. His politics are atrocious. I don't even think he has any politics, but like, I don't know. He's awesome. He's just like, this guy treats politics as the clown show that it is. I mean, Congress is full of clowns, and he's the head clown. Well, was, because he's not in Congress anymore.
Today is my 2nd-year wedding anniversary, and I'm going to enjoy it and try to forget the fact that it's been 1 year from hell, but I would do a few things differently. Hi, Michael.
You said right there that you believe Lolota's whip count, that you expect this to be successful. Can you reflect on and describe your 11-month tenure in Congress?
Yeah, sure. I mean, look, I'm proud of my voting record. I am proud of the work I got to do. And I came in here as a mad-as-hell activist who was just disenfranchised from the government, did not believe.
How are you disenfranchised from the government when you're literally part of the government?
Anything was getting done. I got to see how the sausage is made from the inside. I got to see how this place operates. I get to take that story back to the American people and say, look, this is what happens. This is why we don't see as much progress as we expect. But I can say that I leave here.
This guy's going to be a MAGA communist in like 4 months. I'm calling it now.
No regrets.
I bet you this twink next to him is a fucking LaRoucheite. His LaRoucheite handler from the Schiller Institute.
As far as my voting goes, no regrets as far as my advocacy for bills go. Every single issue from healthcare that I've taken up with insulin or with gay rights abroad or with foreign aid, I really stand firm that I'm proud of the work I've put forward. I wish I could do more. If this is it, this is it. But if it's not, I'll continue to do as much more as I can. Chantel. Shantae.
Shantae.
So they're all judge, jury, and executioners because evidence isn't really a conviction or a verdict, and allegations neither. So I mean, the way that they're looking at this is they just needed a reason to do it. That's why the ethics committee released that statement 2 weeks ago to give them cover to vote no, but little over 2 weeks ago, and then just give them the
All
opportunity.
right, he's being boring now. George Santos turns house floor into a circus. Oh, sure. Guess I'm going to have to go back to Chrome.
Right now, Very is running their big...
Shut up. Ads, ads, ads all fucking night long. I'm not going to buy it. If I see an ad for your product, I'm not going to buy it.
biggest sale of the year. Very desks make the perfect gift for those in your life.
I myself have been a victim of George Santos and as well as other members of Congress in terms of defrauding through public donations. I had received an ethics complaint from the FEC, which I had to spend tens of thousands to defend myself. You, sir, are a crook. I know I should direct my comments to the chair. I yield back.
My colleague wants to come up here, call me a crook. Same colleague.
Bro, you literally are a crook. Like, you're even wanted in Brazil. You stole, your mom was taking care of this old lady and this old guy, and you stole his checks and you used them to buy a Gucci bag or something. You literally are a crook.
Who's accused of being a woman beater. Are we really going to ignore the facts that we all have pasts and we all have the media coming out against us on a daily basis?
This is what our House of Representatives has devolved to. Slapped her in the face in his Washington apartment in 2020.
Wow.
The report cited 3 people familiar with the incident.
I have one thing that astonishes me every single day that I'm in their presence is they all act like they are on ivory towers with white pointy hats and they're untouchable. I mean, within the ranks of...
Wait, white pointy hats like dunce caps or white pointy hats like the KKK?
The United States Congress.
Also, that hairline is going to peel right the fuck back in a couple years.
There's felons galore. There's people with all sorts of shisty backgrounds. And
like you. Like, when you're talking about these people, bro, you're talking about yourself.
All of a sudden, George Santos is the Mary Magdalene of United States Congress. We're all going to stone this motherfucker because it's just politically expedient. I'm not running for re-election, not because this was a damning report. I'm not running for re-election because I don't want to work with a bunch of hypocrites. It's gross. I have colleagues who are more worried about getting drunk every night with the next lobbyist that they're going to...
Yeah, welcome to Congress.
Screw.
Anybody that's watched House of Cards knows that this is what Washington, D.C. is like. Are you surprised?
And pretend like nothing.
Shit, man. You're in your element. You should love this shit. A new rent boy every night. Grinder popping. A lot of those people are in the closet. You could be doing a side hustle off the fucking blackmail alone.
None of us know what's going on and sell off the American people, not show up to vote because they're too hungover or whatever the reason is.
Is that what AOC's problem is? Because I think she was either not present or she didn't vote to expel him.
Or not show up to vote at all and just give their card out like candy for someone else to vote for them. This happens every single week. Where are the ethics investigations and that? That breaks House rules.
George, we all know what's going on. Like, we all know that's where you're.
Holy.
Oh, God. I hate these fucking two. What's next? Oh, yeah. A very interesting Palestinian song. This song is basically a meme. Like, it's made the rounds. It's made the rounds for years, but I have never heard the full version of this.
Recording Jabali.
شردهم ع فلسطين ونتزوج اوكرانية وايد والله.
This is the tanky national anthem. This is the tanky rave. Like, look at them. They're having the time of their lives. Calling for ethnic cleansing of an entire country is something that I think a Palestinian would know better than to do, but tankyism kind of fucks your head up. Yeah, let's just banish all the Ukrainians here so that we can marry them.
كانت عغزي بتمر بتشجع للصهاينة هيا السيد قلبك يا بوتين اهجموا قوي الهجمات شردهم ع فلسطين نتزوج اوكرانية.
They got a little Dabka line, conga line type deal going on back there. Imagine if this song came out in English. I guess it would open every major PSL meeting.
ويلي بتغني البوتين وشو بدك لفلسطين ويلي بتغني البوتين وايش بينفع فلسطين اما الكلب بكيالين بانوا غلطة من الغلطان هسي قلبك يا بوتين اهجموا قوي الهجمات شردهم ع فلسطين وتزوج اوكرانية. لبوتين ما في معزي بدي يشكيهم الزيت اللي كانوا ضد
I love this guy's gestures. What the fuck is...
عغزي ويشجعوا كل الغراوي هسي قلبك يا بوتين اهجموا قوي الهجمات شردهم ع فلسطين وتزوج اوكرانية. يا هلا بالروفل ويا هلا بكل الحمايل يا هلا بحرب الروس على الأوكران القطب الثاني رجعوا بان إما صاروخ الشيطان انطلع
This is the multipolarity anthem.
الكوكب كله ما بس قلبك يا بوتين اهجموا قوي الهجمات شردهم ع فلسطين ونتزوج اوكرانية. ضد الروسي بدنا يشد بلكي للغارب بيهد ضد الروسي بدنا يشد اي بلكي للغارب بيهد وبلكي نحن العدة
That dude is... He's smoking a cigarette indoors.
نرفع للوطن
Then he just threw the cigarette.
رايات
No, he didn't.
هسي قلبك يا بوتين اهجموا قوي الهجمات شردهم ع فلسطين ونتزوج اوكرانية. اما الكورن فات الحرب الواقع بصبح
The guy's just back there vibing out on the keyboard and smoking. Why are all these people smoking inside? Don't they know about secondhand smoke?
لا ماسنجر لا والصب بنرجع زمن الأنتينات بسي قلبك يا مدين اهجم وقول هجمات شرد
So is this the Palestinian version of a mosh pit or something?
فلسطين ونتزوج أوكرانية عينه تفلسطين كمان إلها تغزي لتايوان ابنه تفلسطين كمان وبكي تغزي لتايوان بنكسر أنف الأمريكان وصانعين الطيارات بسي قلبك يا مدير اهجم وقول هجمات جردهم ع فلسطين ونتزوج أوكرانيا لسه الحارب مسلسل دا امريكا تتدخل وان كانوا الدولار ينزل شو تعمل يا ابو الدولارات بسي قلبك يا مدير اهجم وقول هجمات شردهم ع فلسطين ونتزوج اوكرانيا
Look at the little kid riding on his uncle or dad or whatever's shoulders.
شجعنا للروسي بنحشد للصيني شجعنا للروسي بنحشد للصيني بلكي الحرب العالمية تشتعل نعيد الذكريات بسي قلبك يا مدير اهجم وقول هجمات شردهم ع فلسطين ونتزوج اوكرانيا من احنا بفلسطين احياء بحكم الاموات بسي قلبك يا مدير اهجم وقول روسيا هي والغرب القسامونا روسيا شتاتونا الغرب قسامونا روسيا شتاتونا هم يلمواتونا وخلونا نحيا في الشتاوي بسي قلبك يا مدير اهجم وقول هجمات كل العالم حزنانين ع اوكرانيا من بوتين وبسوريا اللاجئين ملايين ومش مئات
Oh, okay. He cooked with that bar.
بسي قلبك يا مدير اهجم وقول لو بدي قدموا لتركيا لو بدك تهدى سوريا الاول قدم تركيا واذا بدك ترجع طبريا او لازم نسبة اليهودية بسي قلبك يا
I wonder how many of the people that went into Israel on the 7th were bumping this.
مدير اهجم وقول هجمات شردهم ع فلسطين ونتزوج اوكرانيا الله شوف الدرس ومفتاحه كيف اللي برمي سلاحه انها بتزيد جراحه والعالم يعدوا له الضربات بسي قلبك يا مدير اهجم وقول هجمات
Not gonna lie, this was a banger, even though I strongly disagree with the line that was put out. Last one. I'll do more tomorrow. Let's see what this is. I can be way more racist than you. Okay, this is that fucking idiotic little person Haas.
talking like a Mongoloid.
I don't give a fuck. I am a Mongoloid. In my heart, I'm a Mongoloid. That is what I am. We are Horde. That is what we are. Yes, we are that. We are 100% that.
That's not something to be proud of.
It is something to be proud of, because the Mongols are the ones who created civilization.
I don't think that's true.
And you created nothing but barbarism. You're the fucking barbarians. You destroyed the
This guy isn't even Mongolian. He's Arab.
treasures of mankind. The Mongols only united it. What the fuck do you know about civilization? What the fuck do you know about pride? What the fuck do you have to be proud of except looting, genociding, and destroying the culture?
Oh, yeah, because the Mongols certainly did not loot, engage in acts that would closely approximate genocide and destroy things.
And peoples and wealth of this world. What the fuck do you know, Cans Cuck?
Well, you're the one here chimping out, so...
I am chimping out, bitch, because I'm a...
If you don't know, that term is a very, very racist term used to refer to an angry black person.
human being, and you're a little soy boy cuck, little bitch. You don't know who the fuck I am.
No, I see you. I think you're a Mongoloid. That's what you...
I am a Mongoloid. You're right. It is what I am, and I'm proud of being that.
Well, it's an anthropological term. It doesn't actually mean Mongol.
Oh, so what's your fucking point? You ugly, disgusting, fucking ugly, disgusting, fucking barbarian, smelly piece of shit. You want to talk racism? I can be way more racist than you, Angloid.
That is actually confirmed.
What fucking civilizations did Angloids ever fucking have? It needed the Romans to fuck all of you in your ass to give you any civilization. You never had any of your own. You want to be racist? I could be way more racist. You want to talk shit about Asians? What the fuck do you have on Asia, huh?
I have nothing on
You have nothing, because you're a Can's cuck, bitch.
That was nightmare fuel, but it was also entertaining nightmare fuel. Peace. I'll see y'all tomorrow night with more